Hi and welcome to this presentation on getting more Google reviews. Hi, I'm Andrew Crouch. I'm the owner of Smart Marketing Success. And I just wanted to have the camera on for a moment to introduce myself. Let me switch that off so we can get straight away into the presentation. All right, why are we here? Well, this is all about the Google Review Growth System. So it's a simple automated system I want to share with you guys on how to get a flood of 5-star reviews. That'll help you rank higher on Google so you can be found more. Get more referrals with strategic automated follow-up requests. I'm going to show you how you can build this in a way that you get automatically more referrals from your current clients. And want to unlock some free leads through high Google ranking. Everything without running more ads or paying for an SEO company. So, what's it about? How to rank on Google in just 30 days. The number one thing that's holding you back between referrals in the open market is really this. What a lot of people don't consider, it's trust. When you get a referral, you have trust. It's easy. When you go to the open market, that's the number one piece that's missing, trust. Google Reviews fixes that. So I want to show you how it's about creating a flywheel that goes faster and faster with more clients, that unlocks free referrals, repeat business, more free leads. It makes the sale easier because you have trust, and it's about just creating this robust, stable, growing business month on month. Imagine that. So why does it matter? Well, this is quite interesting. Look, 91% of consumers say they trust online reviews as much as a recommendation from a family or from friends. Now, that's to me crazy. Like, Google Reviews has got the capability then to create referral-like conversations. Now, you already know how good referrals are like, right? There's not much sales happening. It's you have a chat and they do business with you straight away, opposed to a stranger. That's the power of Google Reviews. You get this trust from a collective bunch of people. Also, reviews really affect ranking. It's called the map pack. That means besides people that pay to be on the first page of Google search, you've also got 3 organic spots. And a lot of them are taken up by people having their Google My Business to be found for their local area, and especially if they've got engaging lots of reviews as well. It means free leads. People that search for someone near you, they're more likely to jump on someone and give them a call when they've got a healthy amount of reviews opposed to someone that doesn't or doesn't even show up. So we'll cover strategy for how to get more reviews, because that can be awkward or people just forget it, and there's ways to overcome that. But also have from that how to unlock referrals and free leads. So a lot of companies may assist with getting more reviews, but they're not thinking beyond that on how to create a flywheel that unlocks more referrals, and which is more clients, and then back again you go for more reviews and more referrals, and how we can build that. I'm going to kind of go over a few free tools you can use for how to build Google My Business profile and optimize it, some free tools, and also some paid tools on how to kind of use them to obviously put this into a bit more of an automation. And if it's okay with you, I'll also show you how we can help fast track all of this and manage it for you should you wish to do so. So, the uncomfortable part, my mistake. But I think it's important to kind of share that. I've had a number of careers from 2003 to 2004. I was a detective in the New South Wales Police in major crime. From 2004 to 2013-14, I was a mortgage broker. So for about 10 years. And now, over 11 years, I've been in the online marketing space, working with professional service providers, anyone from mortgage brokers, financial planners, coaches, psychologists, lawyers, renovation companies, anybody that needs more leads, needs more appointments, qualified, and more sales. So my mistake, going back to 2014 when I started my online business, I did not worry about Google My Business. And thinking back, it wasn't really a thing back then. Trust was pretty good actually, and nobody asked about reviews. So what I did, my first mistake was I received over 600 glowing reviews. I've worked with hundreds, and trained thousands in all these years on a Facebook feed. And I got a screenshot of it here. 287 comments, 379. Thank you, Andrew. You're right. Very overwhelming, very informative, great, all those sort of things, right? And, I've built a Facebook page to nearly 500,000 followers. And I'm not saying this to brag, because a lot of this actually was bad in hindsight. That was my mistake number one, because these glowing reviews on the Facebook feed, they're not sitting in Google, a trusted platform. And that brings me to mistake number two. I had no Google My Business profile for many, many years. I've only activated in the past few years. And I had no reviews and limited trust. And like I said, back then it wasn't a thing. But now, what's happened the last few years, there is more of this conversations around I've been scammed in the past, or I've been burnt. And so now they talk about this, and you can Google this. We're in a trust recession. And so I had this oh shoot moment where I was like, I need to catch up fast. I've neglected this part. And so I went from a couple of reviews to over 30 plus on our website. We've got now YouTube case studies with clients, interviews. But more importantly, I went from just having a handful of Google reviews in a short period of time now, as I'm doing this myself, already over 60 5-star reviews in a very short period of time using the system I'm about to share with you. And we're not done yet. I want to get to a few hundred. So because I know the importance, and I'm already seeing the difference of the conversations I'm having with people in a strategy call that want to use our, let's say, done for you service of helping to get more, not just leads, but getting, qualified appointments on their calendar and help them get more sales. I know this has helped because they're now sharing that with me in my strategy call with them, that if they've checked that out, they've seen these reviews, they talk about the case study they've watched on YouTube, and it's making my conversations a lot simpler, especially in an environment where trust is really, really low right now. So the problem that every business owner has, well, you want more clients, and a step further, you want consistent new clients every month. So it's not like, that up and down roller coaster that we experience when it's just referrals. And when your business just relies on referrals, it's a little bit like hope marketing, right? And the other thing is lead generation is hard, and referrals are easy. And I come back to what I said earlier, which is part of this presentation about why Google reviews are so important, is because trust is at an all-time low. So when you even do lead generation, you have to have a really good funnel, a really good communication process baked in to your business, that when you get a lead, you actually nurture them with really good, valuable educational content to warm them up to trust you more. And of course, Google reviews will help a lot with that. And the other part of, if you've kind of been down the path where, you're feeling burned or scammed, something happened, it's not your fault. There's a lot of misinformation out there. You maybe have been told to post more on social media, which, that strategy worked great in 2014 when everybody saw your posts. But now it doesn't work that well anymore unless you've got a large following. You're also probably told to do more content. But the content game is a bit like an SEO game, right? That can take a long time if you don't know what you're doing to build up an audience. And so a lot of people I know, they need clients now, not in 1 or 2 years. The other part is just be good at your job, build it and they will come. And I can tell you, I built it and they did not come, right? So again, it reminds me of a story about Robert Kiyosaki from one of his books, where he talks about here, bestseller doesn't say best written. So when you think about a New York Times bestseller, it's not the best written book, it's the best selling book. And it just goes to show how important marketing is. And what this comes back to is, whatever profession that you're in, you can be the best at what you do. The only crime in that is if people don't know you exist, right? And somebody else with less skill than you, but maybe a better presence, more Google reviews, a better lead gen, and all that gets more business than the person that's actually better at their job. So it's a little bit like being this beautiful billboard in the middle of the desert. No one knows you exist. And then the other thing that you probably kind of come across is just, buying leads. And the problem with buying leads is that when you buy leads, typically the company generates the leads of their own platform, their own brand, and then they sell it to you. Number one, they're usually marked up significantly. A $15 lead that you can generate yourself if you know how can now cost you $150 a lead. And then the problem is they might sell that lead to multiple people. But when you call that lead, you've got to build in context because that lead didn't come in through your world, through your brand. And it's a little bit like a guy asking a girl out and then somebody else shows up. It's a bit weird. That's why so many people I speak to that say, oh, Andrew, I bought 50 leads for $7,000. I didn't get anything out of it. I'm like, oh my gosh. And they've got no control. They own nothing. They own no assets. So a lot of people have been burnt. Trust is low. And your potential clients may feel the same way. So the aim here for me is my mission is to help business owners. I want to help you get more clients consistently every month through a repeatable system that you own, that's your brand, and that can work without you. It builds your brand, it builds trust, and it gets you more clients you can impact. Because, at the end of the day, you deserve a way to get new clients every month without you feeling like you constantly have to jump through hoops and you do the hard sell to convince them you are real, you can help them, you're trustworthy, to provide the service for the outcome they want. We kind of want to make business fun again and enjoyable, and there's definitely a way to do that. And Google Reviews, this presentation is part of that in helping you get that trust back in such a terrible environment that we're currently in. So the challenge is we don't know what we don't know, and we all have blind spots. Now, when it comes to Google Reviews, here's the interesting thing. Surveys show that 77% of consumers say they're willing to leave a review, but only 10% do. One of the main reasons is they're never asked to leave one. So it's just unspoken, it's not thought about. Another part is that the business owner feels kind of strange asking. They don't know how to ask about it. And I'll cover that a little bit later, how to easily do that. And the other reason is effort. I don't know how many businesses I've looked at where I've had to do so many different Google searches to actually find their profile and their Google reviews. And so you need, in a way, have a mechanism where you can easily get the direct link to your customer so that it's easier for them to leave a review. So how do we easily solve this problem? Well, I'm going to shortly just go through a very brief overview of business, of marketing, sales, and operations. Because every business, now whether you're a $100,000 a year business, $1 million a year, or $1 billion business, you have three main buckets: marketing, sales, and operations. Marketing is how you get the attention of strangers, the market, to come into your world and warm them up. Sales is about how do you obviously find out what their needs are, where they want to go, and is your service the bridge to get them there, and does that make sense? And how do you effectively communicate that and influence them to take the action with you? And there's operations, which is fulfillment. And also that's probably where these Google reviews fit in operations, because this is where the flywheel is created, that every happy customer, we want to turn that customer into another customer and to build more trust and get more rankings, which we're talking about. We're going to cover GMB, Google My Business setup. I'm going to talk to you about how to optimize your profile. We want to talk about how to get more reviews on autopilot, how to get more referrals, how to get more free leads, and how to get more repeat business at the same time. So we don't want to just stop at how to set up your Google My Business. I'm even going to share with you some free tools on how to optimize in a moment, which you can download for free. It's going to help you with the setup of your Google My Business. At the end of the day, this is just a system I want to share with you that's already working for us and our clients, our private clients, and I want to be able to kind of share how that works with you as well. Because, depending on where you are in your business journey, you've got a system. Even if it's just referrals, that's a system. It might just be a reactive system, meaning that you're kind of just, hoping when it's going to happen, when someone's going to ring. And then the other side of the system is a proactive one. And that's more like where you might have an operational system in play for your marketing and sales. And it might look like something like this. And that should really be baked in-house into your own business. You should own it, not the agency, because it should be your asset for life. And it's something like being able to run a digital ad to your ideal client profile, have a compelling offer that pulls them in, where they want to share their details with you, flows into a CRM, where in that CRM, you've got some automatic communication processes set up that are value and educational based, where you warm them up and they can see that it increases by the value and education you teach. It increases your status in their mind, so that actually pulls them in to want to talk to you. You've got strategic text messages, voice message drops. You're using AI agents, conversational chatbots to engage with leads fast. Ideally, within the first 60 seconds of a lead coming in, there should be a text going out, starting a two-way conversation to maneuver them into a booking calendar with qualification. So you can have a meaningful conversation in an appointment, use your sales process, your structure to have new clients. That's the marketing and sales part. The other part on the back end, I want to share with you here a flywheel that we're going to go through in a moment about how you can increase trust, rank higher, and as I said, get more reviews, have that trust, be the standout to your competitors, and get more referrals and so on. So step one at the top here, client experience. So you deliver great experience, create satisfaction, and an emotional connection. This is where the flywheel begins. Number two, you want to capture feedback. You can do that in two ways. One, you can send out a link that gets them to rank you, and that could be like a smiley face or neutral or sad face. And if they click the green one where they're happy, it takes them straight to Google. And if they click the neutral unhappy one, you can have internal feedback. Now, you've got to be careful. There are some rules around that. If you do bring them back to an internal feedback form, you still need to have a link there that very much says, if you prefer to leave a public review, click this link for Google, because otherwise there's review gating laws. But you can do it in a legal way. You just got to know how to do that. But what that essentially will enable you to do is get some feedback private. If it's not the greatest, you can remedy it and then kind of go again. Now, if they're really emotionally charged, they're going to probably have already left you a 1-star review. They're just going to find you if they're that upset. Or they've got the option on the feedback form to click it and leave it anyway if they feel that way inclined. You can't stop that. But really, if you're doing a great job, that probably is not going to be a concern. The other way, of course, is you go from a great client experience straight to a link, straight to Google, and you go from there. You get the Google review, happy clients, and that builds your social proof, gives you that digital credibility, and builds it up. So, number 4, more 5-star reviews, higher Google rankings. We know there's a weighting to that, right? And so there's a couple of things that you want to do. In those, you want to be able to engage with that review straight away, good or bad. We know that engagement also goes towards your ranking, and it's great consumers that go and see all your reviews and 5 stars and see that you're replying to them, good or bad. It's so important. You want to be able to post your reviews on your social media, and then you want to be able to send emails to existing leads and point them to your social media to that review, right? So that way you're not leaving reviews on your social media open to chance, which is very low for people to see that content. Drive people there with email. Free leads. I'm going to show you in a moment how to get into the map pack. And that's going to be by just dominating with lots of Google reviews and getting your categories right, which I'll talk about in a second. So that's going to give you some free leads. Referrals. You want to have a automation set up that once they leave a happy review, you automatically follow up with them through email and text and just talk about how, you're thankful for the review they left and, they're a great client to work with and who else do they know and that's got the same problem A, B, C that you could help with and how could you connect. And so you want to motivate those referrals and ask straight out for them. And you've been notified as well to give them a call. And then repeat clients, depending on the sales cycle of what you do, right? If you're like a healthcare practitioner, like a chiropractor, you might want to bring people back a lot faster and you could have some incentive. So you want to have built into the workflow that, whether it's a week later, 2 weeks later, or, depending on your sales cycle, maybe 3 months later, to reactivate them as a repeat client. And then that flywheel goes back to 1 from the free leads, the referrals, or the repeat clients that have turned back into clients, starts again with the client experience, back to feedback, back to Google review, and round we go. And so that's how the flywheel. All right, so now let's talk about Google My Business. Let's talk about setup. Make sure you've got Google My Business. If not, it's easy to Google it, set it up, and so on. Here's just a couple of things for you to know that really help. Simple things. NAP, N-A-P, name, address, phone number. Make sure, the ideal situation for your areas, if your business name, and it's got to be legally in your business name, it's got your area as well. That's going to work amazingly well. If not, don't put in Google My Business your business name with the area, like as in the name, like, John Smith Mortgage Broker, Crow's Nest. Don't put that if that's not what's on your documentation. Make sure that matches to your website. Same with the address. Your physical address matches to your website address. Same with the phone number. They all need to be matching across each other's domains, because Google will look at all that. That will enhance your ranking. High quality photos of you, your team, your product, before and after service, keywords in your business descriptions about what you do. Now, the other thing that's often missed is categorization. So within Google My Business, you can complete a category. So it doesn't matter whether you're a lawyer, a business coach, financial planner, mortgage broker. You're going to have to pick some categories that they give you. Now, there's a free tool called GMB Everywhere. I've got a screenshot here. Just look it up. It's free. That's the first free tool I want to share with you. Download that. It's just on Chrome as an extension. What that will show you is what other people that are ranking in your area on the first page, it will show you, which you can't see normally, it will now show you how they have categorized their business. I'll give you an example. Here is one where I did a search, mortgage broker near Fremantle, Western Australia. And what I did is I had a look and go, the top search that came up was Brown Mortgage Brokers. Look at this, 276 reviews. But interestingly enough here, we've got one, only 47 reviews, second. And then we've got here Loan Monster, 196 5-star. What's going on here? Well, it's the categories as well, besides obviously an overwhelming amount of reviews. But this one's only got 47. So what's going on? One of the things that you can see is from the category, we've got mortgage broker, and mortgage broker. And then we've got finance broker and finance broker. But the category Element has put in here, and I don't know any of these businesses, by the way, I've just picked them, it was just good the way it worked out. Element has got financial consultant as a category, which the other two do not. So if I look at that, I would think, that is something that people must be searching for. So I would then, knowing that, go in and update my own Google My Business. If I was a mortgage broker, put in mortgage broker, finance broker, and I would add financial consultant, knowing that will bump me and help me. So this is a way you can look at other people in your area that are outranking you. What categories have they used? And make sure you pick the same categories. Hope that tip really helps. All right, so this is the flywheel we just spoke about. What it kind of looks like in another way, especially when we work with private clients, but you can set this up yourself as well. It looks something like this. I know it looks a bit overwhelming, but I'll walk you through it. There are really two stages you want to think about that you can do for yourself, but we do with our private clients as well. The first thing, stage one, when you start wanting to go for Google reviews, you want to do a review blitz. All that is, in the first 30 days, what you want to do is go to all your past clients, and it could be 100, a few hundred, and you upload them into a software. We use Go High Level. I'll share that in a moment. You can use whatever you like, but you want to be able to upload all of them and then send out to all of them either in one hit, if it's just 50 or 100. If you've got like 500 past clients, you maybe want to do 100 a week, or break it up a little bit so it's not too many, and because you might get some people coming back, and in this process you might also be activating your clients again because they're like, I've been meaning to call you, and it could be a bit overwhelming. But essentially you want to do a blitz because you're quickly going to pick up 5 to 50 plus reviews in one hit, depending on the size of your database. And so, as I mentioned before, you've got your feedback request. You have to use like a software. So it's emails and text messages. And you either have a link that takes them to a custom page with, how did we do? Sad, not very happy at all, neutral or happy. Now, as I mentioned before, you can set it up in a way with this form that if they press green, happy, they go straight to Google My Business. I can leave a review. If they click the neutral, unhappy, you can go to internal feedback and go, I'm sorry that you weren't completely happy. What happened? Could you kindly share so we can make it better or, remedy the situation? You get notified that they're unhappy, you remedy the situation, and then you can kind of go back and ask for feedback again. And if it's green, they go over to Google. And as I mentioned, there is some laws around that. So feel free to reach out if you want to know more about how to make that compliant. And the other option is that you just don't worry about the left-hand side. You just send everybody straight to Google. Now, if you send them to Google and they go and leave a review, we have an AI agent that we customize to each client. You can also just do this manually yourself, but you essentially want to respond to every review straight away. It helps engagement, helps you with your ranking. And then you want to post your 5-star reviews onto your socials. And you can use emails, as I said, to your database to help people push over to your socials about the review, or take a screenshot of it and embed it into your email and say, hey, we just got another glowing 5-star review. This is what we did. If we can help you, it just kind of really builds that flywheel. Then from there, you have referral requests from the Google. You want to now ask for some referrals, and you also want to do repeat activation, all through emails and strategic text messages to push them all over to a calendar to book in with you. Then you get a new client, and then we go back all up to the top again, stage 2. Now, stage 2, a couple of different ways you can get reviews. You can upload a list every week of new clients and just push them over to feedback request. POS, you might have a point of sale. You might use something like Square or something else, depending on your business. When someone makes payment, it's integrated with the software. So as soon as they have paid, they're a client. After they finished some experience, they go straight to an automated request, and you can delay it depending on your cycle of delivering on the service. Or they can just be a simple form we give our private clients where they just put in the name, phone number, and email of the particular client, and it fires off the internal request. There's different ways you can do it. And then it just goes through again, happy, unhappy, neutral, and either get private feedback or over Google, and on we go. And that's how the flywheel keeps kicking off with your feedback, review, trust, free leads, referrals, repeat clients, and on, around and around we go. And the tool we use is Go High Level. You can get this tool. It's I think right now it's $97 a month, so $150 a month. But the thing is, it's going to be a little bit of an empty warehouse. So with our clients, we've already built out all the landing pages, the review requests, the activations for repeat clients and referrals and all flows, conditional logics and all that. We've built it all out and we customize it for our clients. But I believe in everything I'm sharing with you today, you can do this yourself. It's just a matter of how long it takes to figure it out, learn it, trial and error, and things like that. And no right or wrong, just depends on what you're looking for. So you can send out a request verbally and manually at a high point. So typically when obviously the best time to send and ask for a review is at the completion of the service. They might tell you that they've just had a great experience or something sort of happened that's been really good. And at that point, you can then fire off the automation by filling out a form, or they've just made payment and off it goes. You can also use incentives to get more reviews. For example, if you're a chiropractor, you can say the next 50% off on the next session if you leave us a review, right? And again, some legality around that. You cannot say, I'll give you 50% off if you leave a 5-star review. That's you're influencing. You can't say that. But if you just say generally like, hey, leave a review and I'll give you 50% off the next session, you're going to get so many more. Now, you can also do things like, which I've seen a few companies do in America and also in Australia. You can say, look, for a review that you leave, we'll feed a family. Now, there are services in Australia and in the US as well, some charity companies where you can donate as little as $1 or $2 and that feeds someone. And so you can align yourself. It feels good for you and it feels good for the client that they've left a review and they've done a good deed. It just boosts the system and the reactivation and everything. So, hot tip, Google loves engagement. Make sure that you reply to reviews. It boosts your rankings. If you can, use an AI agent that's been programmed on your business, on your do's and don'ts and everything like that. So instantly when the review comes in, you can set up a delay like of 10 minutes or 5 minutes so it looks more natural, and based on the sentiment that comes in, good or bad, it leaves a reply on your behalf. And you can always update it later, but at least it's been engaged with. As I said, post your reviews on social media. Again, you can outsource this with an AI agent. We've built this into the software. We've kind of built all this in there and baked it in. So if you do get a 5-star review, straight away we'll put it onto your socials. Now, you're going to get some negative reviews at some point. Maybe you've got 50 reviews, 30, 20, but at some point, as I've got here, even puppies get a 1-star review. There's nothing you can do. Somebody will just have a bad day, externalize, blame, and so on. So what do we do when we get a bad review? Well, step number one, I'm guilty. Pause before replying, right? You're going to get the AI agent's going to do a nice reply and say, sorry to hear about your experience and blah, blah, blah. But I'm an emotionally driven person, so I need to take some time before reply because I'll be more emotionally charged. So I'm not sure if you're the same or not, but I find that if it is, give yourself the 24-hour rule. Let the AI agent reply first with a nice, sorry to hear about your experience, etc., etc. And then once you feel better, you can kind of go in there and start looking at this and keep it short and polite and look at it. Are the facts correct? Write it also with a view of not just that you're writing back to that person, but think about how a potential consumer that's checking out your business, how would they read that review? In a way, write it for them as well. So, you want to see it because the 1 stars is an opportunity as well. It's how a potential because you know what, consumers are not silly. They know that not everyone's going to be happy, right? It's just it's not the world we live in. So when there's a bad review, they're going to look more at how are you responding to that. Now, if it's fake or abusive reviews, report it to Google. There's tools. You can click on there once you Google My Business, and if it violates policy, they can't start abusing you or name calling you or other things. They will remove that stuff. That's not what it's for, right? It's got to be professional. But number 6 also, another good reason to really have lots of good Google reviews is it dilutes the impact of negativity. If you're someone that's only got like 3 or 4 reviews, and let's say they're 5 stars, you get 1 negative review, you're down to like 3 something. Like it looks bad. But if you've got 50 plus reviews and they're 5 stars, you get 1 or 2 bad reviews. Number 1, you're probably still sitting on 4.8 or 4.9, which is amazing. And number 2, people can kind of then see a bit more balance that, well, okay, this person's got a bad review, but they've also got 50 amazing reviews. Like, okay, I mean, a good sensible person knows what's going on. Strangely enough, I thought it's worth mentioning, Google review rating of between 4.2 and 4.5 is the most believable in the consumer's mind. It's a balance based on consumer feedback, because the everyday consumer knows you are not someone that a business is going to have 5 stars for 10 years. Like there's something going on, right? So don't stress too much if you get the odd 1 star. If you get a bunch, well, clearly something's going on. The average is 4.3, right? So if you look at a lot of restaurants and other things, and some industries are a little bit harder sometimes, like, for example, lawyers, unless they're doing something like what we're talking about here, which is getting more proactive reviews, they tend to have lower reviews because they're usually involved in some kind of a dispute, which is more emotionally charged. So again, it also varies from industry to industry. So how do you ask if you're going to do this manually yourself? You might send a text, right? It might be like, hi, whatever the name is. Thanks so much for working with us. It's been great. We'd love to work with more people like you. So could we ask you for a quick 60-second favor to leave us a review about your experience? And put there the Google link, or if you're using a feedback form, the internal feedback form, right? And as a thank you, we'll send you a 50% off voucher for your next visit. Or as a thank you, we'll feed a person in your name through whatever the organization is. Thank you so much. And so if you're going to do it manually, you send a text, send an email as well. And if in a few days later, you prompt them again. Hey, I just want to make sure that my last text didn't get buried. It's called a bump. Usually you find if you do that 2 or 3 times, 3 times ideally, you'll get so many more reviews, right? But just space them apart, do that. So have a process. Now, if you don't have a process that's automated, there's a good chance it won't get done. It might get done ad hoc, but not to the level of having this automated. So at minimum, consider software to help you that's integrated with your point of sale or with something that you're using in your business, that when a client that you've just serviced, it can fire off a trigger. You can use things like Zapier to make sure the automation fires off. So that's everything in terms of the importance, and I hope I've conveyed very strongly how important in this trust situation we have going on in this world about getting more Google reviews, because it really serves so many aspects. Number one, forget the ranking on Google. By having more reviews, it's going to be like if you generate a stranger on running ads on Facebook or something, and they're checking you out. You can, in an email, push them over, check out our reviews. It's going to create so much more trust. It's going to get you to rank higher, which means more free leads. You can set up a system to extract more referrals. And the more you automate this, the more it's going to compound in the idea of ranking high on Google, having more trust, getting more referrals, and also getting more repeat business without you thinking about it. The ultimate leverage. Remember, there is self-employed and there's business owner. And the only difference is self-employed is someone that does everything manually, and the business owner, it relies on systems and team. And this is about having a system. So 2 options. You can take all that information, and I hope you action it and you get going. Or option number 2, I invite you that we can help you with it. So we've got a process or a system called Starflow. And that's the automated system that I've just mentioned there. We'll collect Google reviews on your behalf through text and emails. Under your brand, we'll customize everything to you. We'll do all the follow-up process. We'll customize an AI agent to reply to all your reviews. We'll post your reviews on social media. We'll ask for referrals on your behalf, under your brand, everything like that. And we'll ask for repeat business as well. We break it up into 2 parts. Number 1, in an onboarding, we'll get everything set up for you. We'll optimize your Google My Business page. And step 1, we want to do a review blitz. Our aim is in the first 30 days, we want to try and get 5 to 50 plus reviews, depending on your list size. We're going to upload your list and do a strategic outreach to get as many reviews as possible, to get as many referrals as possible, and maybe even activate some clients that maybe haven't been spoken with for a while. And then number 2 is ongoing management of your reviews and referrals. This is where we work with you very closely to make sure that every week or every month, depending on how many clients that you have processed, to make sure we put them into the flow to extract more reviews and so on. Because here's the other thing. I see some businesses that maybe have 20 or 30 reviews or 50 reviews, or maybe more. But when you check them out, their last review was 2 years ago, and that hurts. So recency is also important. If you can keep stacking them every month, that's going to help you rank. You're alive, and people can see it, and the consumer sees it too. They're not silly. Now, as a bonus, if you want to work with us, we'll give you obviously the Go High Level software, where you can also within manage your leads and your clients. So if besides us, we're managing all your Google reviews for you, if you wanted to also email your current leads or clients, you can do so with this software as well. We'll also upload for you an activation campaign. So if you've got clients from a while ago, there's a 4-part series that we upload for you that you can send out to all your past clients, and it's an activation campaign. I had one client that had 850 past leads and clients. We rolled it out in a drip mode. In other words, 85 every week over 10 weeks. In the first week, he got 5 new clients just from activating his old database. As a bonus, you're also going to join the business growth community. I'll talk about it in a second. This is the software we're going to give you as well. We're going to, inside there, done for you, manage all your reviews, the referral asking and all that, and everything I've just mentioned. But of course, you can also use it for your marketing and sales if you wish as well. So part of that bonus will put you inside our business growth community. There's currently around 130 business owners in there. And there is 3 parts: classroom, calendar, community. Classroom, we've got everything from training on sales training, how to hire an appointment setter for $6 an hour, how to have different things like an AI sales agent that can reach out to your leads through text and talk with them, customized to your business. We've got bots we built ourselves for creating offer, creating ads, follow-up email builder, lead magnet, all sorts of training and resources for you. We've got a community, as I've said, it's got 72, it's over 120 or 130 right now. I have to check. And you can people can ask questions and we help out. And the other part, which is really great value, we do up to 12 business coaching sessions a month. And that's a bonus for you if you wanted to join Starflow today. This means 12 times a month, 3 times a week roughly, we get together on a live Zoom call, group coaching, and we coach on either sales, on marketing, implementation questions, on tech, anything like that to help you level up as a business owner to grow your business better with marketing, sales, and operations. Because this is the other part that we spoke about. By giving you this software and by putting you into a business growth community, it's got in here automated appointment funnel. We'll upload into the high level for you all of this flow here. So then we'll show you with the coaching how you create your own ad. If you also want to put all this on steroids, how to have an offer, how to have a capturing system, how to have a booking calendar, how to do the sales, and how to set up all the automations as well. So besides running Starflow for you to get more Google reviews done for you, we'll also have it done with you in the coaching side. That is a bonus today that you can get part of as well and be part of an amazing community of business owners that want to have some fun and grow their business along the way. So the investment to set all this up for Starflow and manage it for you is $4.95 setup fee, all customized to your business to do the review blitz and the ongoing. And after setup, $278 per month, and you cancel anytime. So to get started, you can click the link, make a payment. Once it comes through, we'll get in touch straight away within 24 hours, and we'll organize an onboarding call. Doesn't take long on Zoom. We'll get to know each other, your business. We set up the whole system. We customize all the emails, the texts, the incentives, whether you want to do a feedback form or straight to Google, whatever it is, we'll go through all of that. We set it all up. We work with you to get your database. We can do a review blitz, really get some Google reviews right away, and then start stacking them every month. And at the same time, we'll pop into the business growth community with other entrepreneurs so you can learn and implement and grow your business. Really hope you enjoyed this, this presentation. If you want to have a chat, you can go to smartmarketingsuccess.com and book in a chat with me if you've got some questions. If you want to get started, simply go to go.smartmarketingsuccess.com/webinar/Google-setup, as you said on here. And that takes you to a order form. You can make that first payment for the setup and that first month, and I'll get in touch with you straight away, and it'll be with me, and we get started on building your page. Hope you enjoyed this presentation. No matter which way you choose to go, I hope you got some real value out of today. I hope you got some ideas on how to optimize your Google My Business page, and that you're going to be more excited to go out there and stack some more reviews for your benefit. Or on the other side, if you want some help with it, we're here. You can simply book in a chat with me or fill in the order form, and I look forward to helping you in building your profile, building more trust, and help in building your business. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll catch you next time.